All right, let's get right into it. We've all been there, right? You're in the gym, you've got this insane pump going, your biceps are peaked, you feel huge, and then it happens.
Yeah, that, it's gotta be one of the most frustrating feelings ever. You can have a great chest, solid shoulders, but if your forearms aren't there, the whole look just deflates. Well, today we're gonna fix that for good. See, when it comes to looking powerful, like genuinely strong, forearms are the ultimate cheat code. Let me show you what I mean.
So, what is it about forearms? Why do they have such a massive, outsized impact on how strong you look? Well, it really boils down to a few super important things. First, and this is the big one, they are always visible. You can't hide them. Well-developed forearms just scream power, even when you're just wearing a t-shirt. Second, a stronger grip literally makes you stronger. Your deadlifts, your pull-ups, everything goes up. And third, and this is huge, training them the right way can actually get rid of that annoying elbow pain that kills your workouts. Okay, I can already hear it. But what about my genetics? I just wasn't born with big forearms. Look, it's true. Genetics definitely play a role. Kind of like with calves. Some people just hit the jackpot and have forearms like a blacksmith from day one. It really just comes down to something called muscle bellies. If you've got long ones, congratulations. You've won the genetic lottery for that thick, full look. If yours are shorter, don't worry. You're going to build size, but your arms will probably end up looking more defined and veiny. The main point here? Everybody can grow their forearms. Your end result just might look a little different. So here's the bottom line. Forget about your DNA for a second. It's time to stop using genetics as an excuse and start focusing on what you can actually control, your training. That's where the real magic happens, no matter where you're starting from.
Now, to train them right, you gotta know what you're working with. Your forearm isn't just one muscle, it's a whole crew of them. But if you're after that wow factor, that pure size, there is one clear star of the show.
And here it is, the brachioradialis. Say it with me. Brachioradialis. This is the big slab of muscle right on top of your forearm, kind of near your elbow. It's got the most potential for growth, and it's what gives your arms that powerful, dense look. So forget about doing a million wrist curls for size. This muscle right here is your primary target. And you know what's cool? Hitting it is actually super simple. All you have to do is use exercises with a neutral grip, where your palms face each other like a hammer, or a pronated grip, where your palms face down. Seriously, that's the main key. And the best exercise for the job, it's gotta be the reverse curl. It's the absolute most valuable player of forearm training. Why? Because it absolutely hammers that brachioradialis for size, and it strengthens your wrist extensors at the exact same time. So you get bigger forearms and healthier elbows all in one go. It's a total win-win. All right, so we've got the size part covered. But a truly complete forearm plan needs to hit all three of the main things your forearms actually do. It's a simple three-part attack. First, we hit that elbow flexion to build the brachioradialis for size and power. Then we work on wrist flexion and extension to target those smaller muscles that are crucial for elbow health. And finally, we build that raw grip strength by targeting the deep muscles in your hands. You hit all three, you get complete, balanced, and injury-proof forearms. So let's talk about those smaller wrist muscles. How do we train them efficiently to keep everything healthy and balanced? Well, there is one tool that is just perfect for this. The wrist roller. Yeah, that simple little stick with a rope and a weight attached. This thing is an absolute game changer. When you roll the weight upward, you're hitting the extensors on top of your forearm. Roll it downward, and you're hitting the flexors underneath. It's honestly the most direct way to create that balance and keep your elbows from screaming at you. And finally, let's build that handshake that could crush a coconut. When it comes to grip strength, you've actually got some really great options. You've got your classic hand grippers, super simple, you can use them anywhere. You've got fat grips, which are awesome because you just slap them on a barbell or dumbbell and suddenly any exercise becomes a grip workout. And then there's the rice bucket. Yep, you heard me, a bucket filled with rice. I know, it sounds a little weird, but just stick with me here. This is an old school training secret, and it is absolutely legit. You just plunge your hands in there and start twisting, clawing, opening, and closing your fists. It works every tiny muscle in your hands and wrists from every possible angle. It builds this insane, functional strength. Seriously, don't knock it till you've tried it. All right, we've covered the what and the why. Now it's time for the most important part, the how.
Let's put all of this into a super simple, super effective plan you can start using literally today. Here's the plan. It's that easy. You start with your main size builder, 4 sets of either hammer curls or reverse curls, aiming for 10 to 20 reps. Then you move on to the wrist roller, 3 sets rolling up, 3 sets rolling down for that balanced wrist health. And you finish it all off with some grip work, either with grippers or the rice bucket. Boom! That is a complete, well-rounded forearm workout. So how often are you going to do this? I'd say start with twice a week. The cool thing about forearms is that they recover super fast. So once you get used to it, you can easily bump that up to 3, maybe even 4 times a week if they're a big priority for you. They can handle it. And one last thing, and this is probably the most important tip of all. With every single one of these exercises, focus on perfect controlled form. Squeeze the muscle. Feel it work. You don't need to go crazy heavy. You need to create tension. I'm telling you, perfect form will build way bigger forearms than sloppy ego lifting every single time. So there you have it. The plan is laid out. The science is simple. The only thing left is for you to put in the work. Stay consistent, and I promise your forearms are going to go from being an afterthought to being the first thing people notice. The only question left is, are you ready?